What if one of the best value SUVs of 2026 has 3 hidden flaws that almost nobody is talking about? And what if one of them is something you'll notice every single day? Welcome back to Supercar, the channel where we cut through the marketing, hype, and give you the real story behind the cars people are actually buying. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join us for honest, in-depth car content every week. Now let's talk about the 2026 Dacia Bigster. On paper, it's almost impossible to ignore. Huge space, impressive practicality, hybrid efficiency, and a price that undercuts many rivals by thousands. It's easy to see why so many buyers are excited. But no car is perfect. Today, we're looking at 3 surprising Dacia Bigster problems that could change the way you see this SUV. They're not necessarily deal breakers, but they're definitely things you should know before spending your money. Let's get into it. Problem number 1. The hybrid powertrain isn't as refined as you'd expect. This is the flagship Bigster model, and on paper it looks fantastic. A new 1.8-liter hybrid system, 153 horsepower, and impressive fuel economy. But in real-world driving, the experience isn't always as polished as the numbers suggest. The biggest issue is the gearbox. With only 4 ratios, the gaps between gears are unusually large. Put your foot down to join a motorway or overtake, and the engine can rev loudly for longer than expected before finally shifting. It gets the job done, but it doesn't feel particularly refined. The braking system adds another layer of frustration. The transition between regenerative braking and traditional brakes can feel abrupt, making smooth stops harder than they should be. Instead of slowing down progressively, the car can suddenly grab and jolt at lower speeds. There are also moments when the hybrid system seems unsure whether to use electric or petrol power, causing occasional shudders and vibrations. Competitors like the Nissan Qashqai and Hyundai Tucson simply feel more polished. For a family SUV focused on comfort, that's a noticeable weakness. Problem number 2. The steering doesn't inspire confidence. This problem may not sound serious at first, but you'll notice it every time you drive the Bigster. The steering is heavily assisted, making it extremely light at almost all speeds. That's great for parking, but out on the road, it creates a disconnected feeling. As you turn into corners, the steering weight barely changes, giving you very little feedback about what the front wheels are actually doing. In real-world driving, that means you're often second-guessing your inputs. Whether you're taking a tight junction or a faster bend, the car never feels as precise or reassuring as some of its rivals. Several reviewers have pointed out that the steering makes it harder to trust the front-end grip, and over time that uncertainty becomes noticeable. The issue is made worse by the Bigster's soft suspension and tall ride height. There's a fair amount of body roll through corners, which further reduces the sense of control and driver involvement. No one expects a family SUV to feel sporty, but most drivers do expect it to feel predictable and confidence-inspiring. If most of your journeys are motorway cruising and city driving, this may not bother you much. But if you regularly drive on varied or winding roads, it's a compromise you'll feel every time you get behind the wheel. And that brings us to problem number 3, the one that could matter more than all the others combined. Problem number 3, interior quality and a 3-star. Safety rating you cannot ignore. Let's start with the interior. The Bigster's cabin is described, even by those who love the car, as feeling like it came from a van. And that is not a compliment. Every major surface you interact with is hard plastic. There is not a single square centimeter of soft touch material anywhere in the cabin. The main touch points feel reasonably sturdy, but early test cars are already showing signs of wear on the seat, upholstery, a wetsuit-like material that reviewers have noted is beginning to look tired even after relatively short periods of use. For a car that costs nearly £30,000 in hybrid form, that is not a good sign at all. The infotainment system, a 10.1-inch touchscreen, is functional, but it is not fast. Switching between menus introduces a noticeable lag, And the built-in here, navigation is so slow that virtually every reviewer has recommended bypassing it entirely in favor of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But the most serious concern in this category is the Euro NCAP safety rating. The Dacia Bigster received 3 stars, not 4, not 5, 3, at a time when the Nissan Qashqai, Kia Sportage, and Hyundai Tucson are all earning 5-star ratings. The Bigster falls significantly short of the benchmark set by its key competitors. Yes, it is equipped with autonomous emergency braking, lane departure warning, and driver attention monitoring, but it misses several of the more advanced safety systems required to achieve a top rating. For buyers placing their family inside this car day after day, that gap in protection is a genuine conversation that needs to be had, and it's one that Dacia has not answered satisfactorily. The value proposition of the Bigster is absolutely real, but value for money and value for safety are two very different things. So here's where we land. The 2026 Dacia Bigster is a genuinely impressive car in many ways. The boot space is outstanding. The fuel economy from the hybrid is competitive. The price is almost unfairly low. And for the right buyer, someone who prioritizes practicality and cost over refinement, driving engagement, and 5-star safety, it makes a very compelling case. But these 3 problems are not small niggles. A hybrid powertrain that lurches and shudders, steering that leaves you guessing, and a 3-star safety rating in a segment full of 5-star rivals. These are things you deserve to know before you sign on the dotted line. As always, we want to hear from you. Are you still tempted by the Bigster? Or have these issues changed your mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps us reach more viewers who are trying to make smarter car buying decisions. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Super Car. We'll keep bringing you the honest content you won't find anywhere else. We'll see you in the next one.